Hey everybody, my name is Patrick. I'm a content creator and a worship pastor living in New York City, and I have great news. I'm about to go on vacation.
Wow.
And over the past few years, I have created a system that makes it really easy for me to leave. And I wanted to show that system to you because I think a lot of people that work in the church space or even the content creation space have a hard time unplugging. And one thing I constantly see, especially in my church job, is people going on vacation, but still being accessible. And listen, if that's what you choose to do, that's absolutely fine. But a lot of times there's this feeling of guilt or shame that I'm leaving people behind, so I need to be constantly available to help them if any issue arises. And I gotta be honest with you, when I leave for vacation, over the past few years, it's kind of become a joke that I'll look at all the people I work with who are also my friends, and I'll say, for the next couple of weeks, I don't know any of you people. Obviously, if you need me for something or you just want to chat, reach out, but unless there's an emergency, I'm not working. I'll be reachable, but I'm not going to be on Slack. I'm not going to be in my email. I might be in my personal email or my side hustle email, but I'm not going to be in my work email. So enjoy, because I have given you everything you need to get everything done that I would normally get done while I'm gone without me. So let me dive in and show you how I've made this process easy for myself. First things first, let's talk about scheduling. Here we are looking at Planning Center online. This is what my church uses to schedule teams, events, things like that. Lots of stuff happening here, but if I click on Sundays, main gatherings, I see all the upcoming Sundays that we have added here, and I can add more, I can delete plans, whatever. But I'll see this little button here that says Matrix. And I love this Matrix view because it shows me several weeks at a time, and I can kind of see where everybody is, make sure people are getting rest and not, serving or volunteering too much. It also allows me to see all the elements for those weeks. And this is really important. Before I go on vacation, I normally I schedule the upcoming month of events and team members on the 15th of the current month. So if currently it's the month of July, on the 15th of July, I will say, hey everybody, here's an email that says I'm going to be doing the schedule soon. So make sure you put in all the dates you cannot volunteer, that you're out of town or whatever. And I'll start scheduling August on July 15th. Well, for my upcoming vacation weeks, I actually schedule even further in advance, further back, because I just want there to be time for us to make a plan, etc. You get the idea. But here I am looking at the matrix, and as I scroll down here, I'll see, let's just talk about musicians for a second. I have actually on the 11th and the 18th when I'm out of town, I have 3 of our worship leaders scheduled those weeks. Now, why do I, instead of having one worship leader for the 11th and one worship leader for the 18th, why do I have 2 or 3 of them serving together? Well, 2 heads are better than one. Where 2 or 3 are gathered, many hands make light work. Long story short, here I have Jace and Marissa leading worship together on one of the weeks that I am gone. Marissa's one of our worship leaders. Jace is one of our worship leaders. If Marissa gets sick, Jace can step in. If Jace, gets sick or has an emergency or something, Marissa can step in. And within this schedule, I have multiple team members that can play multiple instruments, that can lead on their own. And so I just want to really bolster the team to make sure that they're supported. I also ask them, normally the week of, they put in what songs they're playing and things like that. But I ask them ahead of time, hey, listen, go ahead and let's plan our worship sets ahead of time, because we use clicks and guides on a Sunday, and I like to set that up in advance for them. You do. So that we don't have to worry about it. So basically, I'm just doing everything way in advance. But here's one thing that I often forget that I'm so glad I remembered. I also schedule the next week, the week when I come back. Normally I come back and I'm just like, oh, I'm back, this is so great. And I'm like, oh, I haven't scheduled anybody. I haven't added any songs. I haven't added any service elements. So you want to make sure that that following week when you return is also done. But here's the thing that I actually haven't done yet that I'm realizing now I need to do is maybe I need to go ahead and send out that email that's like, hey, listen, I know I'm way early. It's not the 15th of August and I'm scheduling for September. It's actually the 30th of July. Go ahead and put in, I know this might change, but go ahead and put any dates in that you know you're not going to be around, because I'm going to go ahead and try to start getting the schedule ready for September, because I'm going to come back and it's going to be a whirlwind coming right back in, leading on the 25th, and then going, oh, I didn't do the schedule for September. It could be hazardous, could be a disaster. So I want to make sure I'm looking ahead, not only the weeks I'm going to be gone, but even after that for when I return. Now, speaking of communication, I also don't want to have 100 individual conversations trying to remember what I've told everyone about when I'm gone, because I'm the worship pastor here. I wear a lot of hats. I'm in charge of audio and video. I'm in charge of everything that is happening on stage. I'm in charge of scheduling team members for multiple teams. I'm in charge of the worship and the set list and things like that. And I have some amazing people that work alongside me, but most of them are volunteers. So I never want the volunteers to feel like, hey, this is your job now. I want to support them as much as possible. So communication is key. And instead of like trying to track down a bunch of people, I send these really detailed emails out and say, listen, I know everybody hates email, but go ahead and read this one because it's going to be important. So let me just kind of show you a peek of what I send out. So here is a shorter email that just says unlocking the doors. I realize that some of the worship leaders are going to be the first ones showing up to kind of get things ready. And I have let them know, like, hey, I've already got a door code for you because we've got a digital system that lets people in. And make sure you look at this. It says look at this photo below to ensure you know how to unlock the main doors once you get into our space. And I'm going to take a photo of where the key is that they grabbed to unlock those doors. Short email there, right? But important. When I leave, I like to kind of walk through the Sunday via email from unlocking the doors to setup, to audio, to who's leading worship, to tear down or clean up. I'm even in charge of creating the sermon reels that go on Instagram and things like that. So to who's doing that. And you'll see as I move through each of these sections, I've put a name in bold. I am sending Kamitra, Brett, because no one reads emails anymore. So when they open this email and they go, I know all this, I want them to see their name in bold to be like, oh, there's something I need to pay attention to here. Now, just so you guys know, Kamitra is one of our prayer leaders. Genevieve, like I said, is one of our worship leaders. Jace and Marissa are also our worship leaders. But who is Brett? I love Brett. He was on my podcast a while back. He's one of our music directors. He's also one of our prayer leaders. Music direction is something that every worship leader feels like they have to do in their own. It feels like music directors are for big productions, big churches. We are not a big church, but every Sunday I have a music director. And that music director is there to support and hold up the worship leader while helping lead rehearsal and lead the band. So for both August 11th and 18th, I have the same music director. So Brett, who's this phenomenal musician, you should check out his channel. You should check out all the work he does. But Brett is there for both of these worship leaders. He's playing, not difficult for him. Leading rehearsal, not difficult for him. So he's there for the worship leader to be like, hey, tell me where you want to go with this service. You focus on leading. I'll lead the band. I'll help you lead the band and accomplish whatever goal you feel like you want to accomplish. Or, you've met with the Lord about your worship set. You have prayed about this. You're going to go out there and execute, and you're going to lead the people. I'm going to support you. So I scheduled the same music director for both the 11th and the 18th when I'm gone. But I also want you to know that here is Dale. He's playing electric on the 11th. He's also one of our music directors. So once again, if Brett gets sick or something, Dale is able to step in on the 11th and be an MD. And I'm probably going to throw on Honatan or Zach as like a backup MD for the 18th as well. So not only do I have my worship leaders stacked, I also have my music directors stacked. If you're looking at any of this and thinking, man, I wish I had a music director on my team, but that's only for big churches. No. We're a small church. If you're thinking, I wish I had a roster of volunteer worship leaders, we're a small church. We should not have this many worship leaders. And this is only some of them. And if you're thinking, I want to implement that at my church, you can, and I want to help you. Visit iampatrickmurphy.com/courses, because I have some low cost courses that are going to help you with this. And I'm actually in the process of creating more. And the first 10 people that comment on this video with the word course, I am giving them a significant discount in addition to the already low-cost courses that you can utilize whenever you want. So comment course down below. I've got some stuff that's really going to help you out. Let's get back into this communication. This 2-minute video shows you exactly how to get things up and running. Instead of having meeting after meeting after meeting, I have harnessed the power of video in my recent ministry and pastoring and team building journey to make people aware of how they can get things done efficiently without having to have 1,000 meetings or trainings to learn how to do so. So can I just really quickly show you what that looks like? I don't know why I asked. You're watching my video. I'm going to show you. So here I am looking at our church's YouTube channel. So on this channel, you're going to see things like just sermon videos and songs we've sent out. But you're also going to see a ton of unlisted videos like this one, Wellspring Audio Inputs and Outputs. I create videos like this all the time. They look good, they sound good, and they're also normally pretty short, 2, 3, 5 minutes that allow people to see really quickly how to get something done in church. So even something that's like kind of technically advanced that they might be going, I don't know how to do this, and here I am, I'm by myself. So throughout this email, I've added, watch this 2-minute video, watch this 5-minute video. I've also added this bullet point here that says this diagram shows you our most commonly used stage plot. So I'm creating a PDF that I'm going to link to this diagram that shows how our stage should be set up, because I know while I'm gone, they're going to need to strike the stage a few times for some events happening throughout the week. I've even added, please watch this quick video to ensure that playback is set up correctly for your rehearsal/worship set. And like I said, when someone clicks on this 2-minute video, shows you how to, whatever, it pops over to our YouTube page where I have unlisted videos that again are really short, 2 to 5 minutes, or maybe they're a bit longer, that give these people the technical details they need to accomplish a task. Let me just show you one really quickly. Here's one called Wellspring Audio Inputs and Outputs. I'm just going to hop over to YouTube to watch it real quick. Hey there, I just wanted to take a quick minute to walk through how you get audio to come out of the main speakers at Wellspring. And now, since this is a bit technical, you can see there it's about an 8 or 9 minute video. But once someone watches this once or twice, they're like, okay, great. You can accomplish so much by, instead of trying to, again, have meeting after meeting after meeting after meeting, instead, you can have videos that people can reference whenever they need, that you can update at any time, that live on your YouTube channel for absolutely free, or the Google Drive or whatever, and people can access those to get the information they need. So this is a vital resource. I use this for onboarding team members, and believe me, I'm not sitting behind a desk just away from the world, never talking to a team member. I pastor my team. But if I want to get information out quickly and easily, this is one of the best ways to do it. One of the last things we should do in our communication aspect of this whole process is create some sort of an out-of-office reply, or vacation response, as it's called, or responder, as it's called in Gmail here. And this is where you just say, hey, I'm not around, but don't forget to add in some sort of an email address or a contact that people can reach out to in case they truly need to get a hold of somebody for something. Now, I put in here hello@blah-blah-blah.com because I don't want any of you sneaky sneaks getting my church's email address. I'm not about that. Not about that life. So, you've been warned. I don't know where I'm going with that. I've talked a lot about massive platforms that help you communicate with your whole team, videos that anybody can watch to get the details they want. And, I'm trying to, I've said it multiple times, avoid these big meetings that happen over and over and over again. But I will say, when it comes to you leaving, especially a position at your church for an extended period of time, you want to make sure you do have a couple of personal conversations. Today, I'm meeting with my boss, which is a meeting that I initiated to say, hey, before I go, is there anything you want me to know? Any loose ends you need me to tie up before I go? And he was like, oh, thank you. Yes, I would love, he literally said, I would love to spend a few hours with you. Now, my boss is my friend, but I was like, oh, great. I'm glad I asked, because if I didn't, he's very organized and very good at his job. But what if the day before I left, my last work day in the office, he was like, hey, let's get together for a couple of hours. And no, I wanted to initiate that to make sure we have a lunch, to make sure I say like, hey, I know that I deserve this vacation and I'm, have acquired or accrued this vacation, but thank you for letting me do this. Thank you for making it possible. And what do you need me to do before I go? Just you initiate that conversation instead of your boss. The second thing is, I do have a few team members that I have personally reached out to be like, hey, listen, I've communicated the best I can, but if all else fails, would you mind picking up the ball here or there? And those people have said, you got it. Absolutely. So while these massive systems of communication are really, really helpful, you also want to have some of those personal conversations. You're not going to get away from them, unfortunately. And finally, my last thing that I want you to know is that before I leave, it looks like I don't even exist at this desk. Yeah, you're going to still see some of my gear here and some lights and things like that, but in this little office, it's going to be so clean and pristine that you would think I was never here. And I do that for the team because I don't want them to have to move around my gear while trying to do their jobs. And let me be clear, when I come back, yeah, there's some things that I kind of have to put back or whatever, but I want to make sure they have all the space they need while I'm gone. Not only am I exiting my job and taking a breath and a breather, but I want them to have a breather from me. And I'm sure having all this gear here is sometimes annoying. I know that because they've told me. And then backstage, the tech booth, places that I'm responsible for, I have made sure that those are pristine. As a matter of fact, I grabbed one of our directors and I grabbed my pastor yesterday and I said, hey, I just want you to know I cleaned up the backstage area if you just want to check it out. And they came back and they were like, whoa, this looks great. Now, when I return, I know it's going to be destroyed. Our next event that happens is going to destroy the backstage area. That's a constant project. But before I go, I want to make sure it looks top notch. I want to leave things better than I found them so that when I am gone, that they don't have much to worry about and everything is organized. Because there are those things that kind of like, I just know where they are so I can find them on a Sunday. I want things to be super organized for them so that they know where things are on a Sunday when I'm not around. And don't forget, I'm dropping hints like this on this YouTube channel all the time, as well as on my Instagram. So you're going to want to follow me there and you're going to want to subscribe here and you're going to want to comment below course to get a big discount on the courses I have at iampatrickmurphy.com. But before you go, you should watch this video too. You're going to like it.